have been working, literally just setting myself up to go further, taking some stuff away, scaling back so
I got you. We got to reintroduce.
You gave me all the tools I needed. Now I'm out here making moves. Watch me show the world.
All right. So we're now here. They can see us. They can also hear us. We're on the radio. We're also on live on all social media platforms. If you check out the link, sitting in front of me, this young lady, I like to reintroduce this young lady. This is Miss Lathan. She is the CEO of Dying to Know Social Media Agency. So what's been good with you, ma'am? It's been a while.
I know.
You've been on Before the Vision before. You know, we've sat
Yes.
down. You came on and you actually gave me an interview at a time where we were still kind of infant stages of development with this particular podcast, Before the Vision. So I'm honored to have you back. I want to make sure I give you your flowers. You have been a big supporter of Social Goat since we've been in existence. And, you know, like I said, we want to return a favor and keep the love going. So, you know, like I said, we sit here and you see this beautiful logo on the screen, Dying to Know Social Media Agency. So for those people who may not know, how long have you been in business and how long has this business existed?
Yes, so I have been in business for over 7 years now. I have worked in pretty much every industry you can think of: restaurants, beauty supply stores, doctors, lawyers, and not just within the Shreveport, Louisiana area, but all over the United States. So I truly thank God for that. This has been a journey. Like, entrepreneurship is not easy by far. It takes a lot of commitment, a lot of consistency, and a lot of discipline. So I can just really just thank God for the journey, because I know that there's more to come, but He's the reason why I'm still here today.
Okay. And for those people who may not know, that's one thing that I noticed, and it actually catches my attention every time. The love that you show the Lord. And, you know, like you're very out loud with that, which is very appreciative, because we can see where you're coming from. You're coming from a really authentic place, you know, really, you know, I can see the authenticity with what you do. So what you've been doing lately, like, I've seen you, you know, going to different restaurants, kind of shouting them out and stuff. Like, what made you do that?
So I am a foodie. As small as I am, I love food. And I was just like, you know what, I might as well just tap into something different. It was like one of those things where I just walked in it. I wasn't intentionally trying to do it, but it just came out that way. I have been doing like reviews on businesses. I have been doing music. Like, what? I like doing music. Like, yeah. So I have been doing music. I have been doing a lot of social media campaigns for different business owners, sample social media campaigns. And that basically means, like, I may not be their client, but I'm showing them, hey, if you were my client, this is what it would look like. So besides the reviews, the music, the social media campaigns, man, really just trying to set myself up for where I see myself going. And that's pretty much it. Like, living, enjoying the journey, and really just pressing my way, being consistent. A lot of people call me the consistent queen, and man, that is a learned trait. Like, that didn't just come overnight. That took me being you know, having to be told no sometimes. Being consistent, like, it didn't come easy. So here we are. That's what I've been doing. I've been consistent. I've been pushing. I've been pressing, making my way. Like, that's the only way you're gonna be able to thrive within any industry you may be in. It's gonna take some consistency. So to those business owners that's watching right now, it doesn't matter what the weather may look like. It does not matter what the money looking like in your account. Like, continue to be consistent, because you never know. That very post that you don't want to make could be the very post that pivot you and that catapult you to your next level.
Okay. So, and look, you spoke on that. So something that I actually seen you do, and I actually supported it. You know, you actually started a campaign, because I know you wanted to do social media management for Country Rain. So talk about that situation, how it came about, you know, and what motivated you to do that.
So it's like, I always do stuff like that. I always do stuff off impulse. That's just like me. Like, I'm a go-getter. I'm a hustler. Like, if I need $200 this one day, because y'all know in entrepreneurship, you can be $10,000 in one day, the next day you can have $0, right? Like, but nobody wants to talk about that. That's the realistic part of being an entrepreneur. So, like, if I say, hey, you know, I want to make X amount of dollars today, I'm gonna do XYZ. So in this particular case, it wasn't about the money. It was just more so of increasing that visibility and that exposure within myself. So one day I saw that how did that come about? I saw that he shared something that I posted on Facebook. And it was basically me just saying, Country Wayne and his team, they post about 20 plus times a day on social media. And I was like, Wayne, put me in, coach. And so that was originally on Facebook. So one day I was just scrolling through my stories on Instagram, and lo and behold, boom, boom, there's me on his Instagram story. So I'm like, I am in a millionaire's camera roll. Like, you literally screenshotted what I posted on Facebook and put it on your Instagram stories. So that blew me away. So I just said, you know what, while I got his attention, let me go ahead and do it like this. So I took a 2-week notice, and I went ahead and pushed out content. I pushed out quotes. I pushed out interviews that he did with Club Shay Shay. I pushed out like anything Country Wayne focused. I pushed it out. I kept pushing. People were behind me, rooting for me, tagging him, like literally 24/7 tagging him. And I mean, I truly thank God for the whole thing. Like, no, he did not hire me, but it increased that visibility. It showed me that I actually have a movement in a tribe. And I think situations like that, it goes to show you like who's really supporting you and who's not. So it wasn't really about me gaining the employment of working with him. It was more so of showing people like, hey, this is what I can do.
All right. And like I say, I commend you. I seen you. I support it. And when you were actually doing the campaign, he actually liked when you were actually doing the campaign. So you actually had his attention. Man, that's awesome. So with that being said, and you actually going through that process, what did that do for you personally, mentally?
Personally, mentally, oh my gosh, it built me up, because honestly, in the beginning of it, okay, I was running. I was doing my thing. The momentum was high. But at some point, I'm not gonna lie, at some point, I started to feel like defeated, and my mental state, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just stop doing this. This stuff ain't getting noticed by nobody. Like, you know, why do I continue to do this? You know, and it really touched me mentally. And I had to be like, Dad, okay, sit yourself down and realize who you are. You know, and it happens to the best of us. Like, people can't think like, oh, well, because they're a millionaire or because they have 100 million followers, that they don't have any type of negative thoughts in their mind. No, it happens to the best of us. Like, everyone deals with those type of thoughts. And so I had to get myself together. Like, girl, get yourself together. You got this. You doing good. No need to stop now, because you don't know what's up ahead. So I kept going. And then one day I just said, you know what? I've done it this long. I feel like it has ran its course, and that's okay. You know, it ran its course, and it taught me a lot about myself. Like, I really am consistent, and I'm persistent as well. Like, I always knew I was consistent, but that moment, those 2 weeks, it showed me that I was persistent as well. And persistent is pretty much just saying, okay, whether you get it or not, or whether you have a bad day or not, you're still pushing. And I think that's one thing that business owners forget. They forget that quality. You gotta be persistent, because every day is not gonna be a good day. You're not gonna make a sale every day. You're not gonna be all beautified every day. You're not gonna have a beat face every day. So you're gonna have to keep pushing and keep pressing, because people, like you said, that authenticity, that's what people need. And that's another word. When people think about Lathan, they think about authenticity. I purposely came today like this, no makeup, just looking regular, smegular, because I don't want people to think like you can't do an interview or you can't do anything business related without, you know, being all up, dressed up and all of the things. But no, come as yourself. Like, once you come as yourself and you be yourself, people will begin to honor you for that. They'll begin to acknowledge that within themselves. Like, dang, you know, I don't have to always be all put together, because man, Lathan did it, and I want to be that for somebody, like that role model to say, okay, if I can confidently be myself, like, that's all I need. That's the best outfit you can wear is confidence, you know. And so it really don't even matter all that other stuff. Like, you know, the word talks about how man looks at the outer, God looks at what's on the inside. Like, I'm not saying don't be made up or don't wear your 2-piece suits and all of that, but confidence And your authenticity is one of the best things you could ever wear. I promise you. Like, and so those are a couple things that I've learned. Well, really a few things that I've learned doing that country wine process, because man, it tugged on my heartstrings. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I learned some things, and it really did like build me up. It built up my faith to let me know that you're not gonna win. You're not gonna get every opportunity that comes your way. What God has for you is for you. And also it taught me as well that, man, every opportunity, it doesn't mean no. It just means that there's another opportunity ahead. So those are the things that I learned through that moment, through that season, and through those 2 weeks.
All right. So before we get back into the conversation, you did a music video, and like when you did that video, and it was shot in Shreveport, at the Office Hub. Man, that was crazy. So look, we're gonna get back and talk with Lathan, but I want y'all to check out this video. We'll be right back.
I can't even see the end. Gave him glory, had to trust in his plan. He's my source, I know it's in his hands. But I know God be moving, so I'm trusting in his plan. Stay consistent, now I'm seeing the proof. Kept the kingdom, now live in the truth.
I got my own flow, create my own style. Fresh strategies and vision, I make brand shine. I just like to help folks grow. From captions to campaigns, watch the numbers show. But let me tell you about the lessons I've learned. I worked hard on a sample, show the value I earned. Did the work, brought results, still I got denied. But I kept my faith strong, I was built to rise. For every no, that's a bigger yes. I built my own lane, and I'm still the best. God's plan is bigger than rejection or loss. Now they watching me win while I'm being the boss. I kept my head high, never back down. Stay true to my grind, now I'm wearing the crown. I work late, I grind hard, I'm ahead of the game. From strategy to captions, everything's got my name.
I've been working, I can't even see the end. Gave him glory, had to trust in his plan. He's my source, I know it's in his hands. But I know God be moving, so I'm trusting in his plan. Stay consistent, now I'm seeing the proof. Kept the kingdom, now live. I was trying to write my story, God was editing the script. Had to trust the process, even when it never clicked. Yeah, I mapped it out myself, had my own little plan. But every time I ran ahead, it just slipped through my hands. So I stopped, took a breath, had to fall back in line. Had to learn to take my ego out and follow design. Ain't no force in the kingdom, only faith and the grind. James 2 and 26, see the work and the time. Yeah, I've been tested, seen delays, I ain't like. But every setback was just loaded up the hype. Now the blessings coming steady, ain't no rush in the race. When you move how he tell you, ain't no fear in the wait. Tell the patience ain't no prison, it's a setup for the glow. If the seed get planted deep, then the harvest finna show. I don't trip when they doubt, I don't fold under stress. If it's written in his will, then it's already blessed. It is. I've been working, I can't even see the end. Gave him glory, had to trust in his plan. He's my source, I know it's in his hands. But I know God be moving, so I'm trusting in his plan. Stay consistent, now I'm seeing the proof. Kept the kingdom, now live in the truth.
You just never know, like, man, what life is gonna take you. Things could change for the better in an instant blink. So you just gotta be ready at all times.
All right, so look, we back live, and once again, I can see you again. So that video, and look, I'm gonna let her say the name of that video because I don't want to tear it up again. I just tore it up on the radio. I'm not gonna tear it up live on social media. So that video that they just losses and lessons. Y'all got to view the video losses and lessons. Okay. So you got to tell us how did this come about? You know, you just told everybody on the radio. So now you got to tell everybody on our social media platforms. How did this visual come about?
Oh, y'all. So, yeah, Darien got me here spilling all the tea. But so if y'all have been following me, y'all know that January of this year, I did a national campaign for Black Girl Vitamins. That is a very well-known vitamin brand by Black women for Black women, pretty much for anyone. And so they were hiring for a social media manager, and y'all know me, I'm a go get it. Like I said, I'm gonna take the opportunity for what it is. It don't hurt to try. It don't hurt to try to, just see what stuff could be. I knew that they were in Chicago, and I knew that they were looking for someone in house, but I still said, let me go and try my luck and see. And so what I did was, again, I did a 3-week campaign where I did a waiting to exhale social media campaign thing. And so with Black Girl Vitamins, with their demographics, it's kind of like 20 to 50. So 80% of these people have saw Waiting to Exhale. Like, that's a movie that pretty much every woman have saw within their demographics. And so what I did was I turned it into a social media campaign. And so the tagline for that campaign was, "It's a good brand, Savannah." And when I did that, like, when I tell y'all, people that I did not even know were rooting for me, like every platform, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, like they were everywhere. Like, "Oh girl, with all the stuff you doing, I thought you were already working for them." They love the tagline because, in the movie, Savannah's mom, she say, "Oh, he's a good man, Savannah." So I said, "It's a good brand, Savannah." So they went crazy with it. And so what I did was I just took like different little snippets of the movie that were like well-known sayings, and turned it around into a promo for their vitamins. And so long story short, I ended up getting an interview with them. I did the interview with them, and they basically said, like, "We've noticed your work. We really, really love it. But at this time, Dial, we cannot accept, what you're putting out because you're not in Chicago. Like, we want someone that is in-house." And so, man, it really broke my heart. But it really, 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 when I say it really changed my life, it changed my life. So from there, they told me no. But man, within the next week, I had gained $2,000+ off 2 new clients. One of them being one of the doctors that work very, very close with Black Girl Vitamins. So I was like, "Come on, girl, like you go over our head." I was wanting to go for the brand, but you got me yoked up with one of the doctors that work with the brand, and not too many people know that. But I just had to share that because a lot of times we tend to go for one thing, and God is like, "No, I got bigger for you. I got better for you." And so that blessed me tremendously. And so that was literally like the blueprint for losses and lessons. Believe it or not, y'all, one of my favorite songs is "Show the World" by Boosie. Because I think that was one of the first songs he came out with when he got out of jail or something like that. But nevertheless, like, that's one of my favorite songs because that song makes me feel like I can do anything. Besides that song and "Optimistic" by Sounds of Blackness. Those are 2 songs that really make me feel like I can do whatever. So I told my husband, I said, "Okay, can you remake this beat for me? I really want to do a song to piggyback off this social media campaign that I did." He was like, "Okay, bet." So he did it. He gave me the lyrics for it. He, mixed the song and did all of the things. And man, there you have it. It's losses and lessons. And if you literally listen to the lyrics, you'll hear like I'm talking about what happened. I never backed down. That's one thing I said in the song. Like, I never backed down. And man, like I kept going. Like they told me no, but God has been telling me yes ever since. So when you publicly showcase like what you're doing, even the losses part and the parts where you're winning, people will begin to gravitate to that. But you also got to have discernment too, because when you're doing stuff like that too, that gives people leeway as to to be able to have like a little say so on what you got going on. So it's like now I kind of like know what to share and what not to share, because when you start spilling and exposing and saying stuff prematurely, people want to put their mouth on stuff. So I just tend to like wait on God to let me know like when do I need to speak on the thing, or if it's okay for me to talk about this new client that I got, because I do have NDAs, so I can't speak about every high level client that I do have. But losses and lessons, it was perfect. Like, man, I started seeing women like bosses like using it as reels on their Instagrams and Facebooks, and I'm just like, man, this is real. Like, I did the video. Like, shout out to Mr. James Thrower at the Office Hub. and Councilwoman Tabitha Taylor. They really, really, really inspired me as well. As using the Office Hub as a location spot, and they were very supportive of me using that spot for the video. So thanks and kudos to them for just being some amazing people. But all in a nutshell, that's where Losses and Lessons came from, and here we are with another single. And yeah, they just, I don't know, like I never thought I'd be like what, a music artist, a rapper, what am I don't know, but I'm just rolling with the punches. But there you have it, y'all. That's how Losses and Lessons came about.
All right, so look, while she was talking about losses and lessons, look, we gotta get into Word on Me. look, she about to drop a whole mixtape on us, y'all. So look, let's talk about Word on Me, man. When did this concept come about?
Oh, so again, like I said, my husband, he does music. So every time he hears something, he's like, man, you need to get on this. You got the perfect voice. Like, you don't be want to do this, but you got the perfect voice. And I'm like, what does the perfect voice sound like? Like, I don't even know what I'm doing. So the whole while, he's coaching me while I'm trying to project and do it. He's like, man, you killed that. You did that. And I'm like, if you say so, like, because I've never done this before. So, it came about, like I said, he does music, so he comes up with the concepts and all of the things. And so he handled that part. But when we did the video this past weekend, we used the first Friday, the Friday theme. So I was, who was it? Smokey, and he was Craig. And so we just pretty much played off that. Again, when it comes to marketing, you want to do something that's relatable, that's going to reel people in. So aside of them knowing you and knowing your brand, having something else that's attached to what you're doing, it's going to really bring more people in. So that's just a little tidbit for people who are wanting to do marketing campaigns. Use something like a TV show or a song or something that people really, really know about to attach to what you have going on, so that they can really reel them in to get them more interested in what you're going to put out.
Okay. So look, how many more visuals you gonna drop, or how many more songs you gonna drop now?
I don't know. Look, to be honest, I really didn't even want to do the first two. Like, I just did it, and the response have been crazy. And I'm like, I'm really doing this? Like, what is this? So I don't know.
Okay. So, like I told them on the radio when we were actually playing, and I keep losses to lessons. We were talking about, I know you are accepting clients. Mm-hmm. And for those that don't know, you actually have a podcast. Mm-hmm. So for anyone who want to acquire your services, what is your method? How do they need to contact you?
So they can contact me now. I took my website down, and this is just a personal thing. Okay. Sometimes having a website, I'm going to say this, do what works for you. This is to all the business owners out there. Do what works for you. I shifted from having a actual website to just having a square link. And the reason being is because a lot of times we just be paying for these domains and paying for these websites, and we don't even be using this stuff. Ain't nobody booking on it. People normally booking in the inbox and all that, but do what works for you. So I shut my website down, and now I have a square link. So if you would like to inquire about services or VIP days, if you want me to come and do a marketing training or any type of thing like that, you can find me on Facebook at DY Lathan, Lathan. And you let me know like what the service is that you're needing, and I'll be glad to help you. But again, when it comes to marketing, you have to do what works best for your business, not because the guru said it, not because what the man name is, Wallow, Waylo, whatever. Do what works for you. And I love Wallow and Gilly. Wallow, yes. Mm-hmm. I love his podcast and like how he speaks. And I just said that because the first name came to mind, but no, do what works for you. You can't go off what works for somebody else. It may have worked for me, but it's going to work for you because every industry is different. Every person is different. Every business model is different. So that's my take on all of that. I hope y'all received it well and understand what I'm getting at, but do what works for you.
Okay. Is there anything you want to leave us with before we get up out of here, Di?
Let's see. Something that I can leave you all with is stay consistent. Pretty much just stay consistent. Like if you stay consistent, people gotta see you. It don't matter what industry that you're in. It does not matter what you do, how you do it. But like, if you stay consistent and persistent, like, people gotta see you. They gotta see you. When I did the Black Girl Vitamin campaign, when I did the Country Wayne campaign, when I tell y'all, it was people that I had no idea that even knew my name, that was rooting for me, that was, high-fiving me, hitting me up like, hey, Di, you did that, or, just encouraging me. And I'm like, I didn't even know you knew my name. And it's like, I didn't even know that those people were even like seeing me, like, just being real about it, because sometimes how the algorithm is set up, you only see the same 10 people, liking your stuff or commenting on your stuff. So it really blew me up. Like, it really did. Like, it really catapulted me to a next level. Not to say people already didn't know who I were, but it really put more eyes on me. And I think that's what God was trying to do in that moment. Like, it really wasn't about them hiring me. It was more so about him shedding more light on me to say, hey, this is someone that wants me to get the glory out of it, not for themselves. And that's who I am. Like, I don't do what I do for me. Like, I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for God. And believe it or not, like, with social media management and marketing, like, man, so many people are like, dang, God, like, I needed this. Like, you really are an asset to my life. And, I really do pray for my clients. Like, it's not just, oh, I'm worried about the data and analytics and this and that. Like, no, it's more to it. Like, you get more than what you are budgeting for. Like, you budgeting for someone to do your marketing and your management, but no, you getting a whole lot more. And so I'm really like, being these women like their right hand man. A lot of these women, they don't have the time. They got the money, but they don't have the time, to be on social media and keeping up with the trends and all of the things. So that's what, like, kind of like divides me from other people or other social media managers, because it's like, you can't do nothing without God. I don't care what it is. I'm not leaving God out. And the fact that he allowed me to have this gift, how dare I say, oh, I'm gonna do this all myself. I ain't, it's all about me. No, it's not about me. It's about reeling the people in, because, man, one day Jesus is coming back, and at the end of the day, none of this stuff gonna matter. Social media gonna be non-existent. The weave gonna be non-existent. Like, none of this stuff is gonna matter anyway. So you might as well use what you have to get people closer to God. So that's what I'm doing. Like, this is who I am all day and tomorrow. Flaws and all, imperfections and all. I don't even have a marketing degree. I don't even have a marketing background. This is something that God allowed me to literally walk in. And I've been doing it for 7 years. I left my job at a mental health agency because I have an associate's degree in human services. And so I left there 7 years ago, and I've been doing this ever since. And I have never, since I've been doing it, been laid on the pavement, or, haven't had God to come through my family. I've been fed. Like, man, once you follow God and you do what he's instructing you to do, like, you'll never lack. You'll never be without. So entrepreneurs, like, don't get in your feelings, work off facts. If you know you good in what you're good in, keep doing it, keep working it, but get out your feelings. Don't worry about who's not supporting you. Don't worry about if your family is recognizing the gift you have or not. Just keep going, because at the right time, you will reap a harvest if you faint not. So that's what I want to give today. That's what I want to leave the viewers with today, and just encourage them just in this space of entrepreneurship.
All right. Once again, like, we really appreciate you, Di, for coming in, sitting down with us, talking to us. Hopefully, this can happen again. Like I said, I really got a lot of love for this young lady. She has been behind us, and like I said, we just returning a favor and giving flowers as well. We're gonna continue to grow the garden, and that's the way it's gonna be. Look, we appreciate you. We about to get up out of here. We go holla.